Welcome back, and we're glad to have you back with us. On this part of the program, we're going to be talking to Jim Howland. He's our Tai Chi master, and we'll have more information about Jim in just a minute. But the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Pahrump Valley Rotary Club. They have a $10,000 cash extravaganza giveaway. This is a fundraiser they do each year where they raise money for our entire community. So we'd like you to go ahead and contact a Rotarian. We have information. You can contact Barbara Thompson at 764-0681 or Roy Mankins at 727-5222. If you contact either one of those, or you can contact me to get a ticket for this extravaganza. It's going to be on Sunday the 18th at 2 p.m. at Mountain Falls, and you don't have to be present to win, and it is also tax deductible if you don't win the $10,000. I'd like to win, so I bought my ticket already. The second thing is we have Kids for Vets. Kids for Vets, and they're working on making a brick walkway out at the cemetery. And on the bricks, you can have almost whatever you want. It's 4 lines. The bricks are $100 each, and that's the regular price. They are now $50 up until just before, I'm going to say it was up until the 9th. So the cost right now is $100 per brick. It is tax deductible, and we'd like everyone to purchase a brick to show how much you care for vets. And this is through the Kids for Vets program. And you can also contact Debbie Dwelly. She is at, I had her number here a second ago, 702-290-7208, and it is tax deductible. And the other item I want to talk about is something that's happening on the 15th, and that is the Veteran Stand Down. The Veteran Stand Down is going to be at the Home Depot parking lot. It starts at 9 a.m. and goes until 3. It is for veterans, but they will have so many other entities out there to help veterans. And if you want to come out and get information or just do something and see what the veterans are doing, come on out to the Veteran Stand Down. It's going to be on Thursday, October 15th from 9 to 3 in the Home Depot parking lot. And now I want to turn to Jim Howland. Thank you, Jim, for being on the show today.
Thank you.
And since I'm one of his students, I guess I was one of the students until I got busy with so many other things, learning Tai Chi. And Tai Chi is so important, but I'm going to let Jim talk about it. He can also tell you some things about Bruce Lee, because he's probably trained Bruce Lee, but also trained with Bruce Lee. So Jim, tell us about Tai Chi, why it's important, and why we should be interested in it.
Okay, thank you. You're all probably familiar with the yin-yang diagram, the circle, the 2 halves, and the 2 dots. The idea of that diagram is to show 2 forces in the universe, light, dark, heavy, left, right, up, down. And the idea isn't that they are contradictory. They're mutually conducive. They each create each other. Well, Tai Chi, originally in this country, was first known as Tai Chi Chuan. Chuan means fist, and it's a martial art.
Okay.
But the principle of Tai Chi is done throughout the whole exercise. Tai Chi is a series of movements that are done slowly and rhythmically in order to coordinate the entire body. It's very similar to yoga, whereas yoga is static postures where you combine the mind and body. Tai Chi is a series of flowing movements where each movement flows into the next one. The benefit to Tai Chi, in China, when you're younger, you tend to rely on physical strength and speed, and you know you're going to live forever. After you hit 40, you know that's not true anymore, and things start to break down. And so the idea of Tai Chi, you often didn't learn Tai Chi till you got older, and you couldn't rely on your strength anymore. The idea is to combine your breathing with your movement to get your body to function better.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with, first of all, breathing from the diaphragm. In the military, we're breathing up here, but we want to sink the breath down here. It's like with a baby.
Okay.
You know, babies breathe from their belly, and babies, at least my kids when they were small, could make huge amounts of energy from a small amount of air.
Uh-huh.
So the idea is to breathe deeply, to fill your lungs from the bottom up, and that gets you better circulation as you move your body, and it's also better for your brain. More
Okay.
oxygen, your brain works better. And the movements of Tai Chi are done in a sequence. It takes 12 to 15 minutes to do. They exercise all the joints of the body. The Chinese call them the 9 gates, all the major joints of your body, because that's how your circulation works. If you have a problem with your shoulder, it affects the circulation in your hand. The energy can't get past the shoulder. So a lot of the movements are designed to not only work the wrist, but the elbow, and get the shoulder involved and move it all off of the central spine. The good thing about Tai Chi, as opposed to many other hard styles, is that the older you get, the better you get. I've had teachers in their 70s and 80s who could kick my butt, and they keep getting better, because it doesn't require a lot of physical strength. What it requires is relaxation. And the Chinese have a word called sung, which means to relax, but it doesn't mean relax in the Western sense. Here in the West, relax means grab the remote and a beer and flop on the couch. This means to use just the right amount of energy to move your body, but not use energy excessively. Often I use as an example, I'll tell someone to hold out their arm, and I'll support their arm, and I'll say, okay, you really relax this arm. And they'll say, okay, and I'll take my hand away and their arm will still be there. That's not relaxed.
It's definitely not relaxed.
This is relaxed, okay? So what you want is somewhere in between, where you're using the minimal amount of energy to keep your body alert.
Now, Jim, you've given us a lot of information, and it's really important information, but how much does this program cost that you're giving?
Okay, I teach currently at 2 places. One is at the Nye County Coalition here in town, and that's a class that's at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's a free class.
Free?
It's free. Okay. And I started out because I had gone to a meeting of the disabled veterans, and a lot expressed interest in Tai Chi. And so I set it up originally for disabled veterans, and then I opened it to veterans, and now it's sort of open to everybody.
Great, okay.
And I can open up a new class if more people show up.
Okay.
The idea is this is a way to avoid too much medication. Medication's an easy answer, but it's a difficult problem because it creates issues of its own. The idea is to get your body producing its own endorphins, its own substances that help the healing process.
Now, you mentioned that you're in the Nye Communities Coalition, and what room are you in?
There's a room they call the yoga room. I think it should be called the Tai Chi room, but that's a different story. It's room number 19, it's sort of on the back of the campus.
Okay.
I can handle about 10 people per class. So again, if more people show up, I can add another class. There's just a couple of other things I wanted to mention real
Go ahead.
quick. I'm not a master. I don't like that. I mean, because there's always more to learn. I started doing martial arts because when I was 12, coming back from a baseball game, I got hit by a drunk driver.
Oh.
And I was, they weren't sure I was going to live for a few days. And then when I decided to live, they told me I'd be a cripple the rest of my life. My knee was pulverized, part of my thigh bone snapped off, and the only therapy I got was to get used to being called Crip and Gimp and all that stuff.
Okay.
Well, when I went to college, I got tired of that, and I took up judo. And I discovered not only was I not a cripple, but I could do things ordinary people couldn't do. And my so-called bad leg, I could knock a 190-pound guy off his feet. So I got hooked on the martial arts. It changed my life, and I've been doing it ever since. And I started doing Tai Chi in 1969, and then in 1971, I did the style that I'm doing now. And I've done it for years, 6, 7 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a variety of different teachers. I've studied it as a martial art, doing full contact fighting. I've also done it for health purposes. One of my teachers was an artist and a dancer, so it's kind of a beautiful, graceful, flowing thing as well.
It really is.
It has a lot of different aspects to it.
Okay.
The other thing is, I had mutual friends with Bruce Lee, but I never trained him and I never worked with him. My take on Bruce Lee was that he did an incredible job with the physical, but Tai Chi is about developing the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. It's like a three-legged stool.
Okay.
You need all three legs. And that's what we work on. So.
Okay, so tell me more about where you are. You've already talked about the number of students that you can handle in the classroom. If somebody wanted to come, what should they do? Basic
thing is call ahead to the county's coalition so I know how many people are gonna show up.
Okay.
Wear loose clothing and just show up. You know, it's like in life. A lot of it's about just showing up and showing up consistently. One of the current theories in psychology is that to develop a new habit takes 21 days. 21 days in a row, consistently, not missing a day, to develop a new habit. And one of the biggest problems is there are tons of people exercising in this country. They go to the gym, they work out, they sweat for an hour, and they go home and don't do anything for another week. That's not going to get it. That's not going to change anything. That's not going to fix anything. And that's not going to give you the edge you need as we grow older. So the idea is, even if you only do 3 minutes a day, do it every day. Do it consistently. I guarantee if you start exercising intelligently and do it on a regular basis, you'll start to get hooked on it. I mean, why have I done this for 45 years? Because I like it. I feel good. I'm healthy. I'm 73, so I'm in pretty good shape. And it's a good thing for you because it gets your mind and body working together. Right, Jim. And we want people to call Nye Communities Coalition if they're interested and show up in room 19 on Tuesday and Thursday at 3. At 3 o'clock. Right. Thanks again, and we'll look for you next session. Thanks, Tom.